Hey guys, how's it going? Mark here again. Today we will be talking about modus tollens, the second fundamental rule of propositional logic, um, usually known as MTT for short. So basically, this rule is kind of similar to the MPP rule that you might have already come across, modus ponens, in that it involves conditional statements. However, it's subtly different as well. Basically, MTT allows us to move from the negation of a consequent to the negation of an antecedent in a propositional statement. So we'll work through the logical form of this and then have a crack at an example as well. So firstly, if we take the conditional statement here, um, if P is true, then Q is true. So that's an assumption we've made. The little a on the right hand side is just our assumptions column. And if we know the negation of true is Q is true, if we've assumed that, then by using MTT we can derive the negation of P. So in the assumption column we've used assumptions 1 and 2 and the MTT rule. So basically what this is saying and what MTT is able to do is work backwards across conditional statements to achieve the negation of the antecedent, which is the left-hand side, if we have the negation of the consequent. So if we have negative q, then MTT will allow us to jump across and get negative p. So to show how this actually works logically in an example, take the following illustration. If P is rain is falling and Q represents the weather is bad, then the following statement says, if rain is falling, then the weather is bad. Cool, so that seems pretty logical. It's a logical step. If we accept that as true, we can move to the next stage. If we assume or we know that the weather is not bad, then by using MTT, we can derive the fact that rain is not falling. So this is really intuitive, and probably, you guys will be thinking, well, this is kind of just something we take for granted, and it really is. If if we if we know that the weather is not bad, or in other words, the weather's good, so then it cannot be the case that rain is falling. And that's just because we accept this statement. We accept this conditional statement here that, if rain is falling, then the weather is bad. And if we know that the weather is not bad, then logically and by using MTT or modus tollens, we can derive the fact that it cannot be raining. So, yep, pretty straightforward. Just a brief mention as well, you cannot work the other way. So you couldn't say if you had the negation of P, then you could not get the negation of Q. That's not how the rule works. That would violate the rule and it would not be logically sound. So you could not say, for example, that if we had negative P, if rain is not falling rather, then the weather is not bad. You couldn't say that. The rule doesn't work like that. So yeah, there you have it. MTT, modus tollens, very basic rule. Similar to modus ponens, but kind of works in the opposite way and involves negations as well. If you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comment section. We'll be hoping to do a few more tutorials on the different laws of propositional logic. So if you have any requests for any particular rules, then just hit me up in the comment section. And if you enjoyed, please subscribe. Cheers.